Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, whenever you are joining me from. My name is Mr. Swensen, and I am going to be your ninth grade physical science teacher for this distance learning or online learning or whatever you want to call it. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to kind of walk through the syllabus and kind of show you what to expect throughout this class, some of my expectations for you, and then kind of how you'll be turning in some assignments and things like that. Before we even get into that, I just kind of want to introduce myself a little bit. I think because of this distance learning thing, I think it's still good to kind of get that little bit of personal experience through education here. So a little bit about me. I graduated Monticello High School in 2011, went to Bemidji State. In high school, I played football. I was in weightlifting, did track band, played a little bit of rugby in college. And then I substituted in Elk River, Monticello, Centennial until I ended up here at STMA. And this is my third year here at STMA. Obviously, I'm a teacher. And I also coach the ninth grade football team. I'm the O-line coach. And you'll probably see me in the weight room a lot in the future. Maybe not right now because the weight room is closed. I got married last June to my lovely wife, Erica. That's her right there. I bought a house in Monticello last August. And then I love doing anything outside. If I can get out hunting or fishing, pretty much do any kind of hunting and fishing you could think of. I have, sorry, I don't mean to keep doing that. We have two dogs, my wife and I. We have Ellie, who's pictured over here, licking her nose because she's trying to eat ice cream. And then we just got a puppy. His name is Jack. For those of you who had me last trimester, you know I was very excited about getting a brand new puppy. And I can show you a quick picture of him right here. I don't have one on my slideshow, but I can just pull it up on my phone. There's Jack. So he is a yellow lab. He is already 25 pounds at 10 weeks, so he is a big boy. But we're excited. We're looking forward to it. All right, so that's a little bit about me. If you guys want, you don't have to, but you are more than welcome to share a little bit about yourself with me. If you want to send me an email, and my email is at the bottom of this syllabus that I'm showing you guys right here. If you want to send me an email, tell me a little bit about yourself, you can, because there's a lot of you that I don't know. I had about maybe 40% of you, but the rest of you I've never seen or never met before. So feel free to do that if you'd like. So this syllabus is going to be available to you on Google Classroom, which for many of your classes, I believe you will be using Google Classroom. So you'll find this on there, and I'm just going to walk through this, just kind of what we're going to be doing as daily tasks in Google Classroom. So first of all, every day you are going to run across things called slides, right? And those are Google Slides. You are going to use those as a way to see, what am I doing today? Here's the notes or whatever it might be. And then your assignment will be at the end of those slides. And I guess before I even get too far into that, we'll just kind of take a look at what Google Classroom is going to look like here for you guys. When you log into Google Classroom and you click on whatever class or whatever hour you have for me, so like this is hour 1, you're going to see that there are tabs at the top, and I'm not 100% sure how many tabs you have at the top, but there's going to be stream, classwork. Those are pretty much going to be the main two that you look at. The stream tab isn't going to be used a whole lot unless I need to share something with all of my classes. So for instance, if I wanted to say something like reminder test tomorrow, something along those lines, I might do that. I'm not going to share it right now because I don't have anyone in my classes. Most of your work or classwork is going to be underneath the classwork tab. So you click on the classwork tab and you're going to find that there's a bunch of topics. Now, you won't be able to see anything right now, or you won't be able to see very much, because as I scroll through here, you'll notice that there are some icons that are blue, meaning you can see them, and there are some that are gray, meaning that you can't see them. I haven't posted them yet, or they aren't scheduled, or they're just as a draft right now. So you might not be able to see everything that I'm seeing. You are going to be able to see your textbook. There's a PDF of the textbook. And I also have the formula sheet on there as well. So you'll be able to see those things. And by the time you watch this video, I would probably have the syllabus uploaded on there as well. Well, obviously, since you're watching this video, I will have the syllabus uploaded on there. Okay. There's two ways to kind of look at this. Personally, I like looking at this under the All Topics tab. It kind of just gives you a breakdown of everything that every assignment or notes for each unit. You can go to each individual unit. So if you wanted to go to just the electricity unit, you're more than welcome to do that. It just kind of expands things a little bit and gives more detail or actually shows questions. I think it's a little bit more cluttery, but you do what you want to do. I will be working from the All Topics tab when we're talking about this in here. So that's kind of just Google Classroom in a nutshell and how we will be using it. But let's go back to, I was talking about those slides. Okay, so every day there would be material posted that we will have the unit and the day of the unit. For instance, the first day, there's electricity day number 1 slides. So on the first day, that's what you'll look for. So you'll find electricity number 1 slides. Boom, there they are. And it's going to bring you to this. So the first unit we're starting with is electricity and magnetism. The second slide you're going to see on every single day is going to be, here's what you're doing today. So today you're just doing notes from this slide and complete the exit ticket by 2:30 today. And I will explain the exit tickets in a little bit here. So there's the learning target on there on every single one of these. And then you can just go through the notes. Feel free to take your own notes if you want to. If you want to write them on paper, obviously that's fine by me. And then there are, in some of the video or in some of the slideshows, there's going to be embedded videos like right here, basic atomic structure. Feel free to click those. It'll bring you right to YouTube. So you'll go through the notes. And by the time you get to the end of the notes, you're going to see that the last slide says assignment or assignments. And this one just says complete the day 1 exit ticket by 2:30 p.m. today. Your exit tickets are going to be something that you do every single day. All right, so let me go back to the exit ticket and show you that or explain that a little. You will complete an assignment called an exit ticket every single day. The reason we're doing them every single day is because this is basically my way to take attendance, showing me that you were, quote unquote, in class. And you have to get them done by 2:30. And if they're not done by 2:30, then you're basically going to, it's kind of like being counted as absent. But in this situation, given our online learning, it'll just be late. Okay. So what those exit tickets are going to look like. So for instance, if we were to click on one of the exit tickets, it'll have the date and then whatever day of the unit we're on. So for instance, day 1 exit ticket says 3:30 or March 30th, electricity day 1 exit ticket. I'll click on that. And once again, just to remind you, this will be blue for you. You won't be able to see this right now. It says answer the following question. What are particles of an atom? List each particle's charge. Most of these exit tickets are just going to be short, 1 to 3 questions, just kind of summarizing the overall topics of the unit. They shouldn't be super strenuous. Do your best to fill them out, answer them to the best of your ability. When you go to actually answer one of these exit tickets, and I don't really have a good way to show you on here. If I find a YouTube video of it, I will, and I'll post that. But when you go to actually submit these exit tickets, over on the right-hand side, there's going to be a tab that says add or create. All right. And you can add or create a Google document. And that's the way I want you to submit your exit tickets. Okay. I'll say that again. On the right-hand side, there's going to be a tab that says add or create. When you click on add or create, then you can create a Google Doc. And when you create that Google Doc, it will automatically title it whatever the assignment is. You can fill out your answers, type them out. And then from there, you can hit submit, or I think it says turn in on the top right-hand corner, it will say turn in assignment. And that's the way you're going to turn in your exit tickets. And just make sure, once again, you're getting those done by 2:30 every day. Most of my assignments will be posted by 6 a.m. the day of the class. So I believe, like right here, I have day one exit ticket and number 1 slides. Those are both posted. They're scheduled for 6 a.m. on March 30th. So the first day of class, if you're a real go-getter and you want to get up early and start things right away to try to get done earlier, my particular class will always open up at 6 a.m. and then it's due by 2:30. Okay, so that's our exit tickets. Kind of just we'll look at some other assignments. For other assignments, there might be things additional to your exit tickets. So you might have to do an exit ticket and then also another assignment. Usually on days like that, the exit ticket will just say something like, did you do the assignment or did you do the lab? And it's just a simple yes or no. So let's take a look at one of those, what that might look like. I'm just going to go to day 3 because I know for sure that has one similar to that. So on day 3, when you go to the day 3 assignment, actually, let's go to day 3 slides first. When you go to day 3 slides, it's just going to have 2 slides on it. There's no notes today for this particular day. It's going to show what you're doing today and your assignments, and that is it. So it'll say, like here, do the following PhET simulations. PhET simulations are basically just ways for me to be able to visually show you what the things we are talking about. They're a good substitute for labs because we can't do any hands-on labs. So like this one, you click on it. It's a little John Travoltage, little pun there. Another one, static electricity lab with some balloons and sweatshirts. They're really good visual representations of things. So you can go through, tinker with those a little bit, do those, and then it'll say, so like the next thing says, do the lab sheet for the PhET simulations. You will be quizzed on this lab tomorrow. All right. And then you will do your complete the day 3 exit ticket, which, like I said before, that will just simply be, did you do the lab? Yes. Boom. Awesome. That's your attendance for the day. The lab sheet, what that's going to look like. So when you go into classwork, where was that? Day 3. So day 3 assignment, that would be where you're going to find the lab sheet for that lab. So there's links to here's 2 links for those PhETs again. Make sure you're always reading the directions. Like for this one, for instance, I said, skip part 2, number 5, cat problems. So just make sure you're reading the directions so you don't have to do those. And then it says, do not submit this assignment online. All right. What I mean by that is I am giving you this Word document so that you can do one of 2 things. You can either go through and you can print it off and you can just fill it out at home. If you don't have access to a printer, don't sweat it. You can just go ahead and jot it down on a piece of paper, write number 3A, 3B, 3C, and go about it that way. But you don't need to print it out. You also do not have to submit these, and I don't want you to submit these. The reason I'm not having you submit these is kind of 2 reasons. The first reason is because if I had everybody submit every single one of these assignments online, my email would become swamped, all right? And it would just fill up with all those assignments. That's just the way Google works. The second reason is because there will be, most times, if you have a lab, there will be some sort of quiz the next day or maybe the day after that asks you questions specifically from that lab. So it's kind of like a lab quiz for those of you who have taken lab quizzes in my class before. So do not submit those. Those are purely for your learning. Do not submit those assignments. And then when you get to the day 3 exit ticket, after you've completed everything, you'll go to the day 3 exit ticket. If I can find it. Day 3 exit ticket, and it'll just simply say, answer this question. You will have a lab quiz on the static FET. Did you complete it by 2:30? And honestly, if you don't actually complete it by 2:30, just make sure you get it done by the next day. Okay. So moving on to in our syllabus to what quizzes and tests are going to look like. We're going to use Google Forms for quizzes and tests. Many of you have probably used Google Forms before. I know you have in my class when you've taken surveys for me. It's just going to be all multiple choice. Okay. I think the quizzes are usually 5 to 10 questions, and the tests are usually around 20 questions. All multiple choice. Obviously, because you are at home, you have the ability to use open notes and things like that. I am trusting you, and the science department is trusting you, and the entire school is trusting you, and our principals are trusting you that you are going to practice the utmost academic integrity when you are taking quizzes and tests, right? These are different times we're living in right now, and I get that. You can do what you want to do, but in the back of your mind, you're going to have a conscience. Try to practice the best academic integrity that you can, right? And I know you're all capable of it. So for the tests and quizzes, you'll go to the whatever day it is that you're on, the slides, just like normal. And so for like day 4, you have your first quiz. And on day 4, you're going to see that it's once again just one slide. And it just says, boom, here's what you're doing today. Complete the lab quiz by 2:30 p.m. That is your only responsibility for the day, is to complete that lab quiz. So in your under your Google Classroom, you're going to find day number 4, static FET lab quiz, right there. And right now it doesn't have a due date. It will have a due date when I actually end up posting it. Complete the quiz based on your static FET assignment. This will count as your exit ticket for the day. So whenever you do a quiz or a test, that will always count for your exit ticket. So on days where we have quizzes or tests, you won't actually have an exit ticket that you have to fill out. Okay, that test or quiz will count as your attendance. Some last minute things, other information for late work policy. All that I'm going to be doing is 50% off. Most things are going to be done by, or have to be done by 2:30 p.m. on the day of that class, like your exit tickets and your quizzes. If you don't have it done by 2:30, it's just going to be considered late. You'll get 50% off that assignment. You can turn it in up until the day of the unit test. Okay, so let's say day number 5, you didn't do the exit ticket. Just try to get that done by the day of our unit test, which I know for the electricity unit, we're having our unit test on day 15. Get that done by day 15, you'll get 50% credit, and then we'll move on with our lives. If you don't get it done by day 15 and you don't get it done by the time we take the test, it will expire in the gradebook. And for those of you who have had me in the past, I've used this terminology before. Expire in the gradebook just means that in your gradebook, it'll show up on Synergy or Student View. It'll show up as an X, and that just means expired. You can't turn it in anymore. Too bad, so sad. Grading. For the grading, this is not 100% set in stone yet. This might change. I have to collaborate a little bit more with our science department to see where we are all at on as far as percentages. But we are looking at doing some sort of just formative and summative assessment grade categories. So it'll be something around here. Formative, 30%. So like your exit tickets, summative, 75%. So that'd be like your quizzes and your tests. We might end up doing 25-75. That is a little bit fluid right now. So by the time we have our first day of class, just double check back on the syllabus. That might change. Okay. For as far as contacting me, I'm going to do my best to make sure that I always answer your questions as quickly as I can. It's going to be tough for me because I don't know how many emails I'm going to be getting. So if there's ever a time where it's just a lot of the same question happening at once, what I will probably end up doing is underneath that stream tab where I post stuff, I can just post right with the class. I might just post the answer to a common question. I might just say, hey, here's a question that a lot of people have been having. Here's the answer to it. Okay. If it's a question that maybe applies just to you or it's not a very common question, then I might just email you back separately or just you and I'll answer it from there. Okay. My email is at the bottom there, jets@mystma.org. And like I said, I will be doing my best to answer questions as quickly as I can. Something I want you all to keep in mind as we move along, not only for my class, but for all your classes that you're in. Please keep in mind that this is a huge fluid situation that we're working with. This could change. I mean, I don't know if this is the best way to do it, the best way to go about Google Classroom. I know that many teachers are learning as we go, myself included. So please just make sure that you're being a little bit flexible. I might change things down the road, not super drastically, but I might tweak things here and there as I go along. So just kind of maintain a little bit of flexibility with me and with your other teachers as we go along. Hopefully, you're all staying healthy out there, and I hope you have a great day. Looking forward to trying this new experience with you guys.